It's happened again, guys. What happened at Brown University in Rhode Island? At least 2 people are dead, 8 people are injured in another act of violence on a university campus. This has happened again. This is every parent's nightmare and every student's worst fear. It's in the middle of finals week while kids are studying, trying to finish a semester. Gunshots rang out across campus. Multiple buildings were locked down. Chaos for their lives. At least 2 people were killed. Several others are fighting for recovery tonight. The violence has gotten past the tipping point. We just saw what happened in Washington, D.C., the National Guard. We saw what happened in September with Charlie Kirk. And now we're seeing it again. Students have gotten that familiar alert on their phones. We had one of these incidents happen here in Arkansas just a couple of months ago. It turned out to be a false alarm. But the kids are panicking. The kids are running. Kind of message nobody wants to get on their phone. Should never have to read while you're sitting in a classroom or a library. Think about that for a second. That's the reality we've normalized. Police rush in. The campus went into lockdown. And even early information was confused. First, they were told the suspect was in custody and then told he wasn't. Imagine that. You're roaming all over the campus and you don't know that this person's in custody. But I don't know how this ends. You cannot go after people's rights, which is typically the default position, is just take away people's Second Amendment right. I don't believe that's the way to do this. I believe this is ideological. I believe this is rhetoric coming from both sides, more so from one side than the other. When you start calling people names, when you start labeling people for their political ideology, this is what happens. And Rhode Island authorities are responding to Brown University reported active shooter on campus. There's the alert message that came out. At this point on Fox, they didn't know that there were 2 people that have lost their life. But the Post Millennial has reported now that 2 people lost their life, 8 injured at the moment. I've got a clip here, part of the briefing. The FBI is on the scene.
Sadly, today is a day that the city of Providence and the state of Rhode Island prayed would never come. We've heard about horrific acts of gun violence and active shooter situations in other places, but not here. But this afternoon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we received a call. 4:05 was when the initial call came in to Brown University of a report of an active shooter. I can confirm that there are 2 individuals who have died this afternoon, and there are another 8 in critical status, those stable, at Rhode Island Hospital. Those are the only injuries or casualties that we know at this time. But as I mentioned, and it's important to remind folks, these numbers may change. We are still in early hours, but at this time there are 2 deceased and 8 who are critical but stable at Rhode Island Hospital. Additionally, we do not have a shooter in custody at this time. There is a shelter in place in effect for the greater Brown University area. If you live on or near Brown's campus, we are encouraging you to stay home and stay inside. If you're not home at this time, we would encourage you not to return to your homes until the shelter in place has been lifted. We will make regular updates through all City of Providence official social media channels. That's where you can find out more information about the shelter in place, if it changes, when it's lifted. I want to commend the heroic work of the Providence Police Department, the Brown Police Department, Providence Fire Department, and the many agencies who provided mutual aid today. Brown Police responded first and then were quickly assisted by Providence Police, who fearlessly...
So Providence, Rhode Island, very small town. Brown University, very popular, rich, very rich area. Very rich area. I don't know what tuition costs there. It's probably astronomical. But the troubling part here, number one, is the actual incident on the campus. Horrific. 2 people lost their life, multiple injuries. What bothers me the most is that the person is not in custody. There's no one apprehended. Now, I'm sure law enforcement's going to get their guy, get their girl. Right now, we don't know. We've seen these things happen in schools. The news media loves to rush to judgment as to what gender the person is and what race or ethnicity. You know it as good as I do. And if it meets the sort of the cookie cutter way that they want, the news media loves to really, profile. That's what we're going to go with here. You know, as soon as they catch this person, who one side of the aisle is hoping for. Now, that's sad, but that's where we're at in America right now. And the part that really hits, this didn't happen at a nightclub, a street corner, some random place late at night. This happened at an elite university in the middle of the afternoon while kids were trying to better their lives. The president has been briefed. The FBI is involved. Officials will hold a press conference. Statements are going to be released. Investigations are going to begin. All of that will happen. But none of that brings back the people who didn't make it home tonight. And none of it erases the fact that students were laying on the ground while police worked their way through campus. This isn't about politics tonight. This is about something deeper, a country where young people being told that hiding behind locked doors and fighting as a last resort is just part of growing up now, right? I mean, you've got to say a prayer for these families. I don't know how this plays out. I guarantee you there's probably people already on the liberal news media that are making assumptions about this. They're already going to be doing this. I am not playing some of these clips because I don't want to see any of this stuff. Not that it's not important. It's just I don't want to be the person that is profiting or parading this around. This is another disaster coming into the Christmas holidays. The shooter at Brown University in Providence believed to be still on the loose. Police scanners saying everything is happening here, Possibly 20 victims, some reports are saying. I don't know how we get away from this because this has suddenly become the norm. Now, you're going to see certain pundits and you're going to see the talking heads on some of these news channels that are going to go straight after the Second Amendment. But at the same time, they will never go after the violence that's happening in the streets in middle America, Chicago. They will never bring that up. And I can guarantee you that that will not be the headline. No. The headline is going to be, there's going to be a lot of pieces put together. And they're waiting to pounce if this is I hate to say it, a conservative white guy. If this is a conservative white guy, buckle up. Because that's what the news media wants. Certain news media outlets want that. Hell, they probably all want it. Because then you can associate it with the current president. That's where things get really, really partisan. You know it as good as I do. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting what we're having to see and witness here. You got Gateway Pundit. I mean, every news station is reporting on this. Every absolute news station. You've got Donald Trump posting on True Social. He's been briefed on the incident that took place at Brown. The FBI is on scene. He came back and rescinded his previous statement. Brown University police reversed their statement. Suspect is not in custody at this moment. I hope they catch him. I hope they really, I mean, you can already see this. There's people streaming on YouTube that are already, I mean, they are waiting for some kind of like ambulance chasers. There's a lot of channels on YouTube and other platforms that are just ambulance chasers. There's something bad happens, they're on their cameras right there. Love to get your opinion on that. All I got to say is we've got to resolve this. This is an epidemic. It's taken too many lives, too many innocent lives. Something's got to be done, but I don't know what happens. I don't know where this goes. I really, really don't. I hope there's more. I hope in the morning when I do a live stream tomorrow that they have apprehended this guy. I hope they have, or girl. You don't know anymore. Some of these schools had someone that was, had multiple pronouns. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you.